Alright, so, finally we get some more news from the Godzilla 2016 film from Toho. I gotta say, I was starting to get worried for a bit, like, man, they've been keeping a tight lip on this. What is something happened? And nope, we got some more news. And yeah, we have a title, we have some casting, and we have a bit of the plot. Not all of it, but we do have some semblance of what the plot is going to be about. So let's talk about the title first, called Shin Gojira, which Shin in Japanese has a number of meanings. Apparently, I'm not. I apparently need to bone up on my Japanese, and bone I shall. But first, basically, Shin means true or new or God. So it basically takes all of those meanings according to Shinji Higuchi and Hideki Anno. Both of them are basically saying, this is the true, either it's going to be the true Godzilla or the new Godzilla, something of that nature. And we have, this Godzilla is apparently going to be even bigger than the 2014 legendary Godzilla. Yeah, just put that in perspective for a second. Godzilla in the 2014 film was 300 feet tall. I can't even imagine how big this Godzilla will be. I can't even wrap my head around how big this Godzilla is going to be. Maybe 500... Everyone's kind of thinking that it'll be 500 feet tall. That's what I'm thinking as well. So, we've got that going for us. Also, this Godzilla film will be set in present time, and apparently, from what we understand from the plot, is that this will be... The Japanese and the US are investigating a modern-day Godzilla attack. Now, what I find interesting about this, not troubling, but interesting, is that we basically had... They did not in any way, at least in the interview I read, and the article I read, basically they didn't even bring up the 45 movie. They didn't bring up... Excuse me, not the 45 movie, the 54 film. The original Godzilla film. And in every Toho Godzilla film, even in some semblance of 2014... Granted, it didn't go the same way, but it at least had some semblance to 1954. Every Toho Godzilla film, whether it be, a rebooted franchise, each one stuck to the 1954 film to being, like, the root of the film. So I find it kind of interesting that maybe are they going to go the same route as have that the 54 film did happen? The events of the 54 film did happen, and it is clearly showing that this is a new continuity. Which I'm actually kind of glad, because I was kind of thinking, well, you can't really do much more with Millennium, and, it's no longer the Millennium series anymore, so I think it's the smart way to go is to go to a complete new series. But, yeah. I am I am curious, is this going to be completely erasing the events of the 54 film and saying that this is going to be its own continuity? Because I feel like that, that's one of the things you kind of need for a Toho Godzilla film, is that, that was the root film, the thing that started it all. Not to sound like, oh, you need this or it's going to suck. I'm not saying that without that film, without having some semblance to that film, it's going to suck. I'm not saying that at all. What I am saying is that I think you kind of need it. And for all we know, the film they may reference the original film as well. They just didn't say anything. Just the article I read, they didn't bring up that film at all. They didn't mention the 54 film at all. So for all I know, the next the trailer comes out or some other news piece comes out, and they'll be like, hey, yeah, we're tying into the 54 film. Don't worry. So it might it might go down that route. The other thing is that we do have some casting. We do have some casting. 3 actors, 2 actors, 1 actress have pretty much signed on. Hiroki Hasegawa, and Yukata Takonichi. Man, I completely butchered those names. I do apologize. But both Yukata and Hiroki did star in Higuchi's adaptation of Attack on Titan. And I gotta say, I didn't hate it, but I just feel like they were trying to do too much. The problem with anime films is that they're trying to do too much, especially when you're trying to do an entire series in one film. I feel like they were trying to do too much in too little time, even with the 2 films. Now, granted, the Not to say it was bad. I mean, I've seen worse adaptations of anime, mostly from, the United States. But, I just feel like they're trying to do too much and too little. But having said that, it's not bad. The Attack on Titan film's not bad. And I have yet to see the second film, so maybe it'll rectify the little problems I did have with the other film. And of course, you can't deny the awesomeness that is the Kenshin Himura live-action anime movies. Those were awesome. But anyway, I'm getting off topic. So, and Satomi Ishinara, she has been mostly in TV shows, and they did say that her role, that Satomi's role, will be, she's an American agent, basically, and she is tying into and she's going to play a huge part in this. And they did kind of reference that her role will be similar to something along of Miki Sagusa's role in the Heisei series. So I'm wondering, are they going to go the psychic route? That might be interesting. But yeah, there's no semblance. We don't know if there's another monster involved. We don't know if we're getting a monster for Godzilla to fight. I think that would be cool. But for right now, let's just focus on, Big G, and then, when we get to a trailer, we get a new Godzilla film, a new Godzilla villain. That's kind of it's one of the things I kind of want on the checklist here, is that I'd like to see a new villain for the Godzilla series. Would I like to see Ghidorah and all that? Yes, but, it'd be cool, kind of like how Godzilla 2000, we got, Orga. And in, the Heisei series, the first villain Godzilla fought, the first monster Godzilla fought was Biollante. So, well, technically you could say that it was the Super X, but monster-wise it was Biollante. Anyway, so, yeah, I'm not I don't mean to sound like I'm hating on this news. I'm really not. If anything, I am super excited for this news, because oh my god, because it's always reminded myself, oh my god, Toho's doing another Godzilla film. Is that not the best frickin' thing ever? So, if anything else, I'm very much excited to see how this film's going to go down. And I'm wondering, the whole Shin Gojira thing is very interesting. That's a very interesting title. I mean, are they going to go the whole... Because Shin, in one of the meanings, does mean God. So, I'm wondering, does that mean, are they going to go the GMK route with the more, with the more spiritual Godzilla? Which I'm open to, honestly. Even though I'm not the biggest fan of GMK. I don't hate it, it's just that it's not on, like, my top 10 or whatever. But I could go with a spiritual Godzilla. And they're also saying, it could go the other meanings of true Godzilla, which would be like, okay... That's an interesting way of saying it. And there has been there's some rumors going around. And keep in mind, guys, these are just rumors saying that there's a possibility that the new Toho Godzilla film may be in the same continuity, in the same universe as the Legendary series. Which I don't know how I feel about that, of having two Godzillas. I don't know. Anyway, so all in all, I'm very much excited for this. It's it's great to hear that this film is still going. Still waiting for that Gamera film, Dai. No, it wasn't Dai. I'm still waiting for the Gamera 50th anniversary film I was promised. Damn it, where is that? But yeah, also before I forget, the filming for Shin Gojira is starting next month. So yeah, next month they're going to start shooting the film, and someone did say that there may be a possibility of maybe a teaser trailer later this year. But the film is set to release 2016 of summer, and I cannot be more happier for this film. Honestly, I am super excited. So you guys tell me, what do you guys think of all the news coming out for Shin Gojira? Are you guys excited? Do you guys like the title? Do you guys not like the title? What do you think of the cast so far? And what do you think the plot's going to be about? Because could it be a mystical Godzilla? Or do you think they're going to follow the 54 film? So many questions. So many questions. I'm just glad we're, getting some, stuff out there. Also, do you think Godzilla will learn the Satsui no Hado? I'm sorry, with the name Shin Gojira, I had to make a Street Fighter joke. I couldn't help myself. So, I'm so sorry. But yeah, really curious to know what you guys have to say about all this. And yeah, Once again, hope you all enjoyed this, and I will see you guys later.